325 laps of racing to go. The crowd is on its feet as the green flag drops on the Napa 500. Winston Cup race in his career. That was in Pocono in July. He led 10 laps. Now he's leading his second Winston Cup race with about a car length advantage over Steve Park, but Park goes to the outside and challenges LePage and passes him.
Well, that was a bold move here this early in the race. Just jumped up on the outside. I think LePage maybe didn't fight him too hard going into that turn, but still a bold move.
And the second lap will be led by Steve Park. That's his 6th race led in 1999. But for both of the drivers who have led so far, it's their first time up front at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Kevin LePage goes up the hill to get out of Mark Martin's way, and guess what he found? A faster way around the racetrack as he goes right by Steve Park. He was just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. run for position. That's Ken Schrader up there in his final run for the Andy Petrie team. And the final time that Skoll will be involved in Winston Cup competition. On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And the 55 Wallace is up against the wall in the second quarter now down the backstretch.
And caution is out. Oh, that's too bad. Kenny Wallace has had some good runs in the last half of the season and look forward to capping it off here today.
Considering only the and Jeffrey Bodine gets hit from behind and spins down through the grassy area here in front of the main grandstand as the cars came down to take the caution flag.
Oh, man.
It's Elliott Sadler just coming off pit road and had a tire going down.
And a change up front as Mark Martin takes the lead from Kevin LePage. And Mark now has been up front in 25 races in 1999. He's finished 3rd the last 2 races here at Atlanta. Bill Martin has taken the advantage from Kevin LePage here on lap number 19.
And Bob, let's see if Kevin LePage gets that right back. These are teammates. Mark Martin is racing, trying to finish 2nd in the Winston Cup point standings. There was some communication between the 2 teams. Let Mark get his 5 bonus points. Then if you're faster, you'll go right by him. LePage by Mark Martin into turn 1.
The prophet Bill Weber strikes again, doesn't he?
I'm telling you, he is something else.
Mark Martin has retaken the lead here at Atlanta Motor Speedway with now coming up on 25 laps completed, putting his teammate Kevin LePage back to 2nd. And look who has come to 3rd position like a rocket, Michael Waltrip.
And he's gaining on Mark Martin and Kevin LePage, who are running 1st and 2nd. He's found a high groove. Michael likes to run up there, and that's working for him right now.
And he's really running out. You know, Michael, it's gray up there. You're supposed to be right on the edge of the gray, not just straddling the gray. But he is going somewhere.
Well, we heard Kenny Wallace say that he got up there and he got a little too high and he crashed. So you do have to be very careful up there as Mike Skinner goes by Kenny Irwin.
And Michael Waltrip has taken the lead.
Wow. Has to be very exciting for Michael Waltrip because they announced their sponsor last weekend down at Homestead, the new 3-year deal with Nation's Rent. And if I'm not mistaken, that company is located here in Atlanta. So you know that he has some folks here that's very interested in the progress he's making today.
More on Michael Waltrip from the doctor.
Guys, I've always heard that imitation is the best form of flattery. Well, Michael Waltrip should be very flattered right now because all the other crew chiefs down where I am have seen what he's doing. They're telling their drivers, hey, that 7 car is running the high groove and he is flying. So guess what? Get up there. Jerry Dodson will take the car back to the garage. Here, let's check in with Bill Weber.
Michael Waltrip on pit road. The car's a little snug, but no changes. 4 tires in The key word here, be smooth. Be smooth. Michael Waltrip on his way down pit road.
Steve Park getting service down the left side of his Pennzoil Chevrolet. Already service the right side. One round of air pressure change and the track bar adjustment as they all scramble back to turn one. That's the first pit stop of the day.
They were four abreast trying to get out of the pit area.
And Steve Park might be the first car off pit road. We'll just have to wait and see who NASCAR says, but we've always talked about what an advantage is to have that first pit. It sure was for Steve Park. As soon as he dropped the clutch, he was across that white line. The white line that tells you who is going to be the leader.
And speaking of the restart, here it is. Green flag rocks. Park back out front. He's had 3 laps so far in this race.
Now the 21 car, Elliott Sadler, the Sitco car, is a lap down. Practice Friday and Saturday, his car has been very, very good. Let's see if he can stay in front of these guys and get that lap back that he's behind.
He had a flat tire, and that's the reason he's a lap down. Had to make an unscheduled pit stop.
Might also mention that Kenny Wallace, who got into the wall early, is back out on the track. The only car back behind the wall right now is Todd Bodine, the most recent one to get into the fence.
Sadler down on the inside trying to get that lap back that he lost when he had to make an unscheduled pit stop.
For the lead, he's alongside Steve Park, and Dale Jarrett's trying to figure out which one to follow. Labonte on the bottom side of the racetrack, Park on the outside.
I think with the new tires, as we said earlier, that bottom groove might be the place to be.
And Bobby Labonte will lead that lap. He has now led in 30 of 34 races in 1999, the most of any driver. He is the 7th driver to lead here this afternoon. Steve Park has led the most, 43 laps. Then Kevin LePage, 17. Other leaders have included Mark Martin, Michael Waltrip, Dave Marcus, Kyle Petty led a lap, and now Labonte.
And now Labonte can use the entire racetrack, so he should pick up a little speed as Dale Jarrett gets alongside Steve Park. Tries to take over the 2nd spot.
And does. Another lead change as Bobby Labonte has passed Steve Park and put himself back up front.
Bobby Labonte's car is running on the top and the bottom. He passed Steve Park on the very bottom of the racetrack, and once he got by the Pennzoil Chevrolet, he moves back to the top of the racetrack and is still faster. This is on board with Steve Park, the Napa onboard camera.
Labonte worked and worked and worked lap after lap to get the job done, and he, as you said, Benny, found the proper groove on the bottom.
Look at that, right on the bottom of the racetrack, gets position and passes Park, and now he goes back to the top of the racetrack. So looks like the Interstate Batteries Pontiac is running high and low anywhere on the racetrack.
And Mark Martin felt it in that car, and boy, he didn't want any vibration. He didn't want to go another lap, so he just slowed her down and brought her right into the pit stand, which was a smart thing to do.
Valvoline and the big brothers and big sisters of the country teaming up this year for the Caring Hands program, and so far they have made over $200,000 paying money for every lap, every win, and every pole that Mark Martin has. Down to John Gurney.
Bobby Hamilton in for his scheduled pit stop. Work is already finished on the right side. No chassis adjustments. 4 tires and fuel down to the way to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Ward Burton coming down pit road, 3,000 RPMs. That's 45 miles per hour. Very, very deliberate, very careful not to speed on pit road. These are scheduled pit stops. We should be seeing the 88 and the 1 in about 3 left. Right side tires going on the Caterpillar Pontiac. They have made a slight air pressure adjustment only. That's the only change for Ward Burton. He's having a great run. It has been 5 years since Ward Burton has been to victory lane. Left side tires on, he is down and away. Let's go back up pit road.
Mike Skinner's crew in the middle of a 4-tire change, not making any chassis adjustments. Second can of fuel going in. Actually, they do make the chassis adjustment on the left rear of that car, getting pumped up. Left side tire is going on. Gets the okay, is down and away.
18.2 second pit stop from Mike Skinner. Here is Joe Nemechek, who entered the list of first-time winners in 1999 of a NASCAR Winston Cup race. He hits the marks for the Bell South Chevy.
And hello, Andrew, back in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope you're feeling much better after your accident last Sunday. As Joe Nemechek, hey, just right sides only, 10-second pit stop.
There's Jeremy Mayfield right behind Joe Nemechek as Jeremy hits the marks, and here's Bill.
And Jeremy Mayfield on pit road already has his right side tires. One of the early cars stopping here around to the left side. Fuel going in. He's had a good run so far today. Not a great one. The 94 swings by. He heads out. Earnhardt also on pit road.
Comes Chad Little in at the top of your screen. That's Ken Schrader's stop, getting service on his.
And the trouble here coming off of onto the pit. The other one was coming right in behind the 43 car, John Andretti. He bumped him and spun the 43 around.
Andretti gets the STP Pontiac righted, headed in the right direction, but suffers quite a bit of damage.
Yes, and there's damage to the front of the 28 car as well.
You see the hood is buckled up on the 28 car, back at the back there.
Well, that was a very, very costly mistake by both drivers there, not by them.
And John Andretti is in his pit box.
Steve Park comes in. Ricky Rudd comes in. Dale Jarrett comes in. Scheduled pit stops here.
Down to Jerry.
32-year-old Steve Park comes in. Remember, they had a problem with the vibration. He has been holding his breath for the last 25 laps. It will make a slight air pressure adjustment. The car just a little bit too tight. Left side tires going on. Meanwhile, further up pit road behind the one car is the 88 car, who was losing fuel pressure. He had to pit this time. They were going to stay out. The one is out. The street line run is out. And now the champion, Dale Jarrett. Let's go to John Turner.
4-tire change for Bobby Labonte as he is in no chassis adjustments, no air pressure adjustments that I've been told of. It's just 4 tires and fuel. A great pit stop for Bobby Labonte. He is down and away. Tony Stewart is also in, getting a 4-tire change early. Reported that his motor had gone a little bit flat. That was one of the problems that they had earlier, but they also had an equalized left rear tire. But the motor's still a little bit flat on Tony, although the car is riding much, much better. Just 4 tires and fuel for Stewart.
Tony had moved up to 16th position before coming in for the pit stop.
Jeff Gordon apparently missed the pits coming in. He went by the start-finish line here slow. We thought maybe he had run out of fuel, but apparently he's coming in too fast, couldn't make it. And now that's going to cost Jeff Gordon a lot of valuable time.
John Andretti disappointed today, but they'll be back at it next year at Daytona, hoping to open up the season with a victory in the 500, Bob.
John Andretti 16th in points coming in. He finished 11th in the points last year. We've seen this story a couple of times today, haven't we? The Earnhardts running together.
And Dale Earnhardt just took advantage of Dale Jr. when Jr. was trying to pass Rusty Wallace down on the inside, and Dale Sr. had a run on him, moved right up beside him. We saw Terry Labonte's car coming back out of the garage. He'd gone in and had a rear gearing problem on the Kellogg Chevrolet, but he's coming back out now. He's about 47, 48 laps down.
This is 17th, 18th, and 19th as Dale Sr. takes the 17th spot away from Rusty Wallace.
Okay, so son, now pay attention. This is how you do it.
That was the old slide job that we're talking about on the open wheel cars.
Well, there's the fathers and the father-son combination, and we've also got some brothers racing together out there. Ward and Jeff Burton.
And there's trouble over on the backstretch. And it is
Johnny Benson.
Johnny Benson. Johnny had such a great run going here today.
Led 4 laps earlier, and as the caution comes out, this will be quite a break for Mark Martin, Bill.
Oh, this is a big, big break for Mark Martin. They're talking about the adjustments they're going to make. High fives in the pits. He's going to be able to come in. They're going to be able to correct the problem, give him 4 tires, and send him back out. Mark Martin, a very determined race car driver, knew exactly what to do in that situation. He earned himself a break.
About 4 or 5 cars got their lap back from Bobby Labonte as he slowed down and allowed them to do that, or got a lap back. Robert Presley was one, and
Jerry Nadeau was another.
Boy, this really comes at a great time for Mark, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, he's even slowed down now. The 31.1 was the fastest lap that he had run in this whole group. And a lot of 31.4s and the 31.7. Look at Labonte still ran a 30.2. That's a 1.5 seconds faster than Mark Martin. It doesn't take, when you're running that fast, it doesn't take but about 30 laps, 25 laps, and you put a car a lap down. So this was very, very fortunate for Mark Martin.
Mark faces something tomorrow that I have faced twice in my life, back surgery.
I've done that too.
Yep.
And so our prayers and best wishes will be with him. Hope they can get his problem corrected. You know, he's been going through a lot of pain and agony the last couple of years.
All right, the pace car now has the field in tow as they come off of corner number 4. The pits are open. Here come those on the lead lap, led by Bobby Labonte, Steve Park, Dale Jarrett, Ricky Rudd, Mike Skinner.
Now, Bobby Labonte drops off pretty quick because he started so far back that he didn't get to choose a very good pit stop. Let's go to, or pit position. Let's go to John Kerning.
Give you triple pits, the 1, the 88, and the 10. And the 18, I should say, as Bobby Labonte is in his pits. They're making no changes. Very quick stop. The Dairy Punch.
All right, Bobby Labonte is out of the way. Top of your screen, middle of your screen, the Pennzoil crew in that Chevrolet pulling out the front fenders and changing the air pressure slightly. Dale Jarrett made a slight air pressure adjustment as the 1 car is out of the way, and is Jarrett the best pit stop of the 3? Bobby Labonte, 15 seconds flat.
Okay, we're about ready to go back to green flag racing. Pace car pulls off, and here come the leaders. There are 20 cars being shown on the lead lap.
Get ready, green.
Down to Jerry real quick.
Dale Jarrett just radioed Todd Parrott and said, when I weave back and forth to clean my tires off, the car cuts off. And Todd said, well, just don't weave back and forth then.
Yep. And you saw the leader of the race, Jeremy Mayfield. On that stop, he only changed right side tires. He was running 9th when the caution flag came out. And you see the Mobile 1, number 12, is now the leaders. Kenny Schrader's on the bottom of the racetrack trying to get a lap back in that Skoll Chevrolet. That's the green car.
He's in 20th position. First car on the lead lap. Second position is Park, then Bobby Labonte, Ward Burton, and Jarrett.
And the other car on the inside is Bill Elliott, the McDonald's car, another car that's trying to get a lap back.
Lowe's Field summary shows you the points as of now. No changes in the top 5 as we are past the halfway point of this race.
Apparently no changes in the top 10.
That's right. Yep. Everybody's staying the same. We have had 10 leaders, 23 lead changes in the first 180 laps. And Jeff Gordon drops to the bottom of the racetrack with smoke seen from the car. Bill Weber, what do you know?
He's still talking to the crew, but he blew up.
Wow.
Billy, we talked about it earlier.
He really needed a good run here today. He did not need this. This year, the law of average has really caught up with Jeff Gordon and the entire DuPont crew because he's had more engine trouble than he has in the last 2 or 3 years. Once again, you're going to have engine trouble. You just don't have them all at one time. Lead change. Steve Park going for the lead.
Back to the front goes Steve Park, and Bobby Labonte will drop to the inside and try to gain a position, but Jeremy Mayfield is hanging right in there. In fact, he's going to lead that lap.
Now remember, he only took on 2 tires. That's what got him up front.
Caution.
And we have a caution as Dave Blaney is in the wall.
Green.
race recap. Steve Park has led 66 of the first 187 laps. We've had 24 lead changes and a total of 5 caution periods totaling 28 laps. As far as those who have been out front, Bobby Labonte second highest in laps led. Mark and Kevin LePage have both led 17. Michael Waltrip early was up front for 12. And here are the others who have gotten the 5 bonus points for leading a lap. As far as cars off the track are concerned, only one, Dave Blaney. And now we can list 4 as out of the race: Todd Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Johnny Benson, and most recently, Jeff Gordon.
Jeremy Mayfield passed the 1 car, Steve Park, for the lead. Well, Park just passed him back.
And Bill has a report on Jeremy Mayfield, who's looking really good.
And he really used some pit strategy to get up to the front, Bob. A 2-tire stop for Mayfield. They took 2 right side tires and fuel on that last stop.
And he scared Steve Park to death coming off turn 4. He came up the racetrack just exactly like he didn't realize that Park was there. And Steve jumped out of the gas and said, "Let me get out of the way of Jeremy Mayfield."
There is Wally Dallenbach down to the inside of the racetrack in the 25 Budweiser sponsored car. He's in 18th position now and is now the first car on the lead lap, having passed Ken Schrader.
Ricky Rudd, who is in the 5th position, now he's been passed by Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt is up to 5th. They're mired back there in the lap traffic. All these 4 here sort of pulled away a little bit.
Mark Martin, he is back in 9th position, benefiting, of course, from the caution period that he needed tremendously. And look at the difference in speed.
Second to lap almost.
1 second per lap as we see Steve Park, the Pennzoil car. Once again, Steve Park is having the race of his life as he goes by Jeremy Mayfield. Once again, takes the lead.
Bobby Labonte trying to come right along with him. As those cars race side by side there, Steve Park looked up in his mirror and said, "Just keep doing that, guys. I might be able to pull away from you a little bit."
Everyone has been talking about the Pontiac's advantage right now. We've got a Chevrolet in front and a Pontiac and a Ford almost side by side. Now we'll give you the Pontiac in second. The Ford takes over third. And here's Dale Jarrett, the champion, in a Ford. In fourth.
Trying to take third.
Yeah, down to the inside, and he will move to 3rd position. Give Jarrett 3rd.
He hasn't led yet today, has he?
Nope.
He's got some strong cars in front of him there that might keep him from it.
Pennzoil Copter Cam following the first 4 cars around the track. Park, Bobby Labonte, Jarrett, and Mayfield.
You're running some of the fastest laps right now that we've seen them run all day. Over 184 miles an hour. A few laps ago, they ran over 185.
Park the fastest last lap at 184.241 miles an hour. Jerry has more on the Steve Park run.
Echoing your comments about what an impressive performance he is putting on today. This is the same car they ran at Charlotte in May when he led over 80 laps, only to be taken out by an accident that was not of his own doing of another car. This same car also ran at Charlotte in October, and just with 7 cylinders, he finished in the top 10. That's how good this car is. And by the way, this exact same setup is what this team put on Ron Hornaday's car yesterday, who dominated the second half and won the ARCA event.
His career best finish came at Michigan in June of this year, 6th. He is having the race of his career here today.
There's Labonte trying to go by on the inside.
Side by side all the way down the backstretch. Labonte tries to wrestle the lead away from Steve.
Still side by side as they come off of turn 4. Bobby thought he might be able to get the advantage as they came off the turn. Now he does have the advantage. And got a crash.
Here's Kenny Wallace And the 98 of Mast. And again, we
also think Terry Labonte's involved.
Yeah, he's up against the wall there on the left.
And these three cars all have had major problems today. We're running far. Terry Labonte's 48 laps down.
Oh, and Michael Waltrip also.
Oh, no.
And they're still spinning right in front of Bobby Labonte.
Oh, Jerry Nadeau spins. I guess you're trying to race it back to the line. Oh, but he wins the race back to the line. I guess that's what was happening there. Jerry Nadeau was trying to get back to the start-finish line, trying to get a lap back.
I don't think Nadeau hit anything. He slid down to the inside in the grass, as did Jeffrey Bodine early in the race. But there's damage to Kenny Wallace's car, and as we saw it sitting up against the wall in turn number 4, there's major damage to Terry Labonte's Chevy.
And Michael Waltrip's car. Looks like someone ran all of the left side of Michael Waltrip's car.
We understand that Terry Labonte did get out of his car. However, Michael Waltrip has not emerged from his car, and it looks like they're preparing to cut the roof off of his Phillips Chevy.
Yeah, the roof, right as we speak, the roof is coming back and allowing all the folks to get down inside with Michael. They want to get him, they want to lift him straight out of the car. They don't have to try to lift him through that door. So,
yeah, this doesn't necessarily indicate bad injuries. They just want to keep his spine and neck straight. Here is a replay once again. Kenny Wallace and Rick Mast also involved, but they're able to keep going.
We don't know what happened to cause those first two cars to spin. I think those two just spun to avoid the other one. Now here comes Jerry Nadeau as he tries to get his lap back and just barely misses the stall car, the car of Terry Labonte sitting there.
And then almost wrecks the 18 car of Bobby Labonte, who's leading the race.
Well, we certainly do hope that everything is going to be okay for Michael Waltrip, who earlier in the race was just outstanding, having led 12 laps, but his 1999 comes to a grinding halt against the wall in turn 4. We have our 11th different leader at the Napa 500. Dale Jarrett took the lead from Bobby Labonte a couple of minutes ago, and as a matter of fact, Jeremy Mayfield took second. So Bobby's back to third, and here's how DJ got the lead.
Going in turn 3, Labonte, the 18 car in the front. Dale Jarrett just drives down to the bottom of the racetrack and runs right down that white line, and boom, just pulls up right in front of Bobby Labonte.
Here comes Dale Jarrett dropping down off the 24 degrees of banking and heading for his pit stall. Jerry, he's headed toward you.
What could be the final pit stop of the 1999 NASCAR season for the new NASCAR Winston Cup champion, 3,500 RPM. That's what they remind Dale Jarrett coming down. 5 of the 7 guys making this stop may not ever make a pit stop again for this team. Remember, a new crew coming over from the Rainbow Warriors to begin the year 2000 season. They cleaned the windshield. They've made another slight air pressure adjustment to make the car turn better in the middle of the corner. The windshield very, very dirty. The left front tire going on. They got problems with the left front. They finally get on, and Jarrett is away.
Still a 17.4 pit stop. Not bad at all. Is the 12 car of Jeremy Mayfield. Now Tony Stewart has been leading, but he comes in for a pit stop. John Kernan.
And the Tony Stewart's crew has a problem with the rear tire changer's air gun. Apparently it either broke or a lug nut got jammed, so they've had to use the other air gun. They only have one air gun. They got to get the lug nuts back on the left front. They're telling Gerald Shires to come over with another one and put the lug nuts in. Tighten up the lug nuts on the left front. This will just be a 2-tire change. Oh, what a problem for Tony Stewart. They got the left front finally tightened. He is down and away. I'll go check and see if it was a lug nut, a jam lug nut, or if it was just to Jerry Punch.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. came down pit road, and he was trying to restrict the tire carrier ran out, and Earnhardt hit the tire carrier. He went up across the hood, came down off the hood, looked to be okay, went on around to the front of the car and changed the front tires. From our vantage point, it was hard to see if it was Tony Eury Jr. or the tire carrier, but both are okay. Earnhardt very quickly jammed on the brakes so the guy wouldn't roll up across the windshield, but a near serious injury here in the pit.
The Pennzoil Copter Cam continues to provide the overhead shots here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 1.54-mile quad oval about 40 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia. We have completed 282 of the 325 laps that will make up the Napa 500 and conclude the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup season. Jeremy Mayfield, who has only one career win in this series, that came at Pocono in June of '98, is the leader. Second place belongs to Bobby Labonte. There he is. Last lap it was 1.49 seconds. Let's see what it is this lap. 1.55, is it?
So he lost a tenth of a second a lap.
But I think that Jeremy Mayfield's crew has told him that the 18 car was gaining on him, and he needed to try a different line. Jeremy had been running high all the way around the racetrack. We saw him that time down on the bottom of the racetrack, and the caution flag is out.
Car in the wall, we understand. Bringing out another caution, and that's Buckshot Jones.
Yeah, I believe we'll see them come in.
And who might just change right sides? Jeremy, remember how well this car ran on right sides?
Good point.
Will he do that again?
Good point. I would bet he would.
They come down off the banking.
First 5 cars all come down pit road. Bobby Labonte, the first one to stop.
Down to John Kernan.
Bobby Labonte in his finish. We show you a triple split, the 12, 18, the 88, a track bar adjustment on Labonte's car, still a little bit too tight to Bill Weber.
Jeremy Mayfield said don't change a thing. It's 4 tires and 4 to 5 gallons of fuel just for balance. To Jerry Punch.
Dale Jarrett's still a little bit tight in the middle of the corner. 18 is out, 12 is rolling, the 88 still in the pits there. They took a pound down to the right front as Jeff Burton beats them all out. And this is the final pit stop. And of those 3, looks like Bobby Labonte had the best at 15.3 seconds.
Green flag coming out.
Ready? Green flag, green flag.
Got Bobby Labonte for the lead on the inside.
Boy, quickly, Bobby Labonte asserts the authority and goes to the front.
And here comes the 20 car, Tony Stewart. All these cars trying their best to get a lap back. Now look at the 99 car go up the racetrack. Here comes Jeremy Mayfield.
Well, apparently those 2 tires, at least in the early laps here, are not
Rusty Wallace is, for the moment, back on the lead lap in 13th spot, but Bobby Labonte has taken the lead. Jeremy has moved to second.
Jarrett has got by even 3rd place.
Yep. Won the last 3 Winston Cup races. This battle continues to rage. As close as we are to the finish, Jarrett and Mayfield are going at it.
Jeremy moved up to that high line there, because DJ's been running that high line too until he catches Jeremy. They're going to go right down to the wire battling for it. 4 more laps to go.
On the slower car, Robert Presley, he moves to the inside and lets both DJ and Jeremy pass by.
Well, now, I'm wondering why DJ don't jump down there to the inside where he made the pass. We'll watch this battle now, the 22 and the 1.
This is for 11th.
And here we go again. Mayfield's going to make the pass on that, so maybe the DJ did jump down on the inside and it didn't work. So. What, $140,000 bonus if DJ could have won the race today?
Yeah.
Or something like that from Winston.
The leader bonus.
2 laps to go. And they still bet this wasn't for the lead because this is pretty doggone exciting stuff.
It's good stuff. Michael Labonte out there just riding away from him. He's up now to a little over 3 seconds.
I think he's backpedaling a little bit right now.
Yes, he should be. Got him a run again. Let's see what he can do.
Down to the line. Right with just about a fender advantage for second position. But the white flag is out, and we are on the final lap of the season. Bobby Labonte started 37th today. He is going to be going his second time that a personal starter has won in '99. Jeff Burton did it at Loudon in July of this year. Here is Labonte, recording his 4th Atlanta win, his 7th top 5 in 14 races at this facility, and Jarrett took second from Mayfield. It is Bobby Labonte's 5th win of 1999, his 12th career victory, and it comes in his 224th start. There's the winning team. Here is the championship team of Robert Yates, Todd Parrott, and the others. And there are the 2 winners from today and the season. Again, we have saluted him throughout the telecast, but heartfelt congratulations once again to Dale Jarrett and the entire Jarrett family for winning the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship.
Well, it's the MI cricket letter coming around the south, rolling straight hammers and bows in that old southern south. Please, ain't nothing but incense in my atmosphere. I'm bending corners in my lag bar, cause that's how we been rolling here. Yeah, the slang is in effect because it's Georgia kicking the Yankees and I